Okay, hi there, Matt LUXTON here from FA Fitness, personal training. Just here tonight with Kevin and Vin, who've just recently finished the Great North Run, both achieving personal bests. Not just that, I wanted to share with you a few secrets as to what we've been up to with our training, because a lot of the emphasis this time around has been on reduced volume, and Kevin and Vin have been really good and taken on board some of the advice that I've given them with regards to reducing volume when it comes to the mileage for preparation. One of the things that we did is we incorporated practice days, which was technique based for the exercises to help strengthen you for running. We also did some sprint interval training, okay, which happened for you, Kevin, on a Thursday. Okay. We also did some high intensity interval work and strength and conditioning work here on a Wednesday, and Friday was a rest day. Saturday was where the weekends where normally you would have done a lot more volume. We actually did a lot less, didn't we? And we used some specific what I call metabolic leg circuits to help reduce the volume, because that gets the lactate levels up before they go out for the run, to almost make the legs feel like they've done mileage, but they haven't. So Kevin, if you just wouldn't mind perhaps giving a little bit of information on perhaps your time last year and then this year, and how things have differed slightly.
Last year was 125, 35, something like that. This year was 122.30. Last year did probably 4 or 5 12 plus mile training runs beforehand. This year it was 1 9-mile run, 1 12-mile run, and everything else was probably 6 or below.
Yeah.
So a lot less.
Yeah, that's good. And Vin, yourself as well. I know last time, this year's been the first year where you've done, if you like, back-to-back sessions on the weekend where you've done your running still. This has been the first time you've done that for ever, isn't it?
Ever.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And you knocked what, 8 minutes off your time, personal best time this time round. Where do you? Because I mean, you did a lot less miles this time around, didn't you? So.
Oh yes. Last time I did it in 2 hours 18.5 minutes, and this time I did it in 2 hours 10.5 minutes. I've never run on a Saturday and Sunday before.
Yeah.
But this year I tried it out,
yeah,
and found I could do it because I reduced the volume of miles.
Yeah.
I just did a long run of a 7, a 9, 11 and a 13, and in between those weeks I did your metabolic circuits, and then went out and ran 3 miles as fast as I
could
run.
As fast as you could, yeah. So that helped you to reduce the volume, because I mean, we were just talking before that you said that you would have done 2 or 3 13 miles.
Yeah.
So you only did 1.
I only did 1.
And then you would have done 2 12s.
Yeah.
You didn't do any of them. You just did 11. So like we reckon that you probably did 50 miles less this time round. So 50 miles less volume, like in the legs before you run them.
But I felt really good. I haven't done less miles. I actually got to the start line and I felt really good, and I felt that I could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Kevin, for you, doing the leg work, the metabolic circuits every week, although you said you were busy leading up to the event, you did it. So in an ideal world, I mean, we still knocked 2.5 minutes off your time. Those leg circuits there helped you to obviously reduce your volume, but also with your speed as well. Some of the miles that you've been running have been really quick, not just the first few, or not even right in the middle of the marathon when things normally start to slow down. You actually did your fastest miles.
Yeah, my fastest 3 miles were miles 6, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Which are the middle 3.5 marathon.
Yeah. What would you say to anyone then, before we go, about sort of reducing the volume? Because it's something that I do talk about a lot, and keeping the intensity high, but not exercising for too long. What would you say about it? Because I mean, obviously it's quite controversial, because it's a bit of a culture, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it definitely works. It's just having the mental ability or mental faith in your own ability to go the distance at the speed without putting the work in.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest struggle of all, is mentally.
The mental side of
Yeah,
it, yeah.
too right it is.
How about you, Ben, as well? Like, what do you...
Yeah, it is a mental thing, because I feel if I hadn't have done put the 11-mile run and the 13-mile run in, I don't think my head would have told me that I could do it.
Yeah.
But having put those in, I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important part.
Yeah, so to integrate, but not like, so
But
we're not
not-
saying to do too many long runs,
No,
we're not saying not to
no.
do any, we're just saying that
Just
you can definitely reduce the volume, and if psychologically you need to do something that's a bit longer, then incorporate that into your programme, but don't make the long runs the mainstay of your programme, just have it there to provide you with the support you need mentally. So when you get to the race line, you know in your own head that you can run that distance,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
have to be safe in the knowledge that you haven't run too much, and you've done the right amount of short, high intensity interval work to give you the recovery that you got. Because you both told me that you felt really, really good straight after the race.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I think by doing the shorter runs and doing all those exercises and things, they definitely made me faster overall.
Yeah.
Definitely.
well,
And I even when I run out on my own, I can tell that I feel as though I'm running faster, and I know I'm running faster than what I've ever run before.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for staying behind afterwards after a pretty tough session, but back on it again now. That's just a little bit from me about reduced volume. I'll probably be writing a few articles around the area, so look out for them. But here's evidence that you can achieve personal best at half marathon distance, and we also had a personal best at marathon distance in Berlin as well, in the same 2 weeks. So reduced volume definitely works. Try it.
Yeah, try it.
Have
Take care.
faith.